The iconic Onikan Waterfront Stadium is no more. Bulldozers have rolled in to demolish the football arena, which was formerly known as the King George IV Stadium. The Lagos State government is to reconstruct and upgrade the stadium to an all-seat 5,500 capacity arena. The stadium has hosted some of the biggest games in local football in the country. The state government says the rebuilding of the stadium is part of the overall regeneration of heritage landmarks around the Onikan area and the Marina area of Lagos Island. Work on the new soccer ground is expected to last for 12 months. Some Nigerian journalists speak on their expectations for the new arena.
This is a stadium that the great Brazilian player Pelé has played here in Lagos at the Onikan Stadium. So Onikan Stadium speaks a lot when you talk about sport, when you talk about stadia in Nigeria.
Onikan Stadium, the capacity is there. Let it remain what it used to be. The only thing they could have supposed to have done is to find a way to put tartan tracks there. By the time you put tartan track to accommodate other athletes in what they are doing, you are home and dry. Then look at the other adjoining buildings that surround the playing arena. You can put taekwondo hall there, you can put table tennis hall, you can just accommodate other sports.
It was supposed to be built in much bigger capacity, but there was no space allocated at that point in time. But Ambode, I think people advising him should have a rethink now and maybe beautify the stadium, do some certain things that is needful, not necessarily increasing the capacity.
Now, a lot of views here about what should happen to Onikan Stadium, but then in 12 months we'll have a brand new stadium. Now, joining us from the United Kingdom via Skype is one man who played many matches at the Onikan Stadium, so he knows what it's about. Former captain of Stationery Stores of Lagos. He is now the coach of the under-18s at FC United of Manchester, Chuks Akuneto. Glad to have you join us, Chuks.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I hope you are too. Now, what does Onikan Stadium mean to you as a Stationery Stores player? Well, you did not only play for Stores, you played for ACB, you played for Enugu Rangers, you played for Dodgy United. Playing on this turf, what did it mean for you?
It was monumental. From the days of actually watching the National League there, and then starting to now play Principal's Cup for the Pepsi Cola, and then the Nigerian League. It was monumental. It was where every young boy in Lagos wanted to actually play. Very great.
Well, without seats, you'd get 5,000 people crammed into that arena. A rebuilt Onikan Stadium will take just 5,500. Couldn't it have been more? Shouldn't we have been asking for more, say, 7 or 10,000 seater stadium?
If you want to fix something, you actually want to fix it to be better quality-wise and then in quantity. I do not understand, though I do appreciate that they are building a new stadium, but I do not understand the actual reasoning or justification in destroying a 5,000 and then building for just 500 extra seats. It could have been more. It could definitely have been doubled or more.
Now, it was an all-football stadium. Should it still retain that purely for football use, or should it take in a track for athletics or maybe other halls for taekwondo or indoor sports, as some people have suggested?
It depends on the actual need of the people of Lagos. If it can occupy everything, there's not a problem. If you have kids that want to play some other sports, you can't deprive them the opportunity. But I would have loved it to just be a citadel, a shrine of where followers of football can go and worship as usual.
Well, certainly it is a shrine, not the Agege Stadium, because there's the story that the Agege Stadium, the community stadium in Agege, will be hosting the 2017 FA Cup final, the Federation Cup. Now, playing for Stores in 1989, you lost in the semi-final to BCC Lions of Boko at the National Stadium. What do you make of the news that the FA Cup will now be played at the 4,000 capacity Agege Community Stadium?
I'm struggling to comprehend the rationale. We have been African champions. We're now on our way to the World Cup. We have won we have won laurels at the under 17, under 21. Our girls have been everywhere, and we've decided to play an FA Cup final in a community stadium, a 4,000 seater. It don't actually add up to me. Is that the best we can offer? Is that the best we can offer to the young people that want to actually play a 4,000 community stadium? I'm stuck here for actual answers to that.
Well, in 1995 also, you played in the FA Cup, a classic match as well at the National Stadium. I just want to ask you, what was the atmosphere like? What was the crowd? What was the feeling like?
The actual build-up was brilliant, but the game itself was it's one I remember till today. The one in '89 as well, the one in '95 semi-final against 3SC. Though we were hammered, but the atmosphere and the build-up, the National Stadium was full to capacity, and it was just a semi-final, and it is something to remember. If you are as a player, administrator, and a pressman, it's for everyone to enjoy. How do you want only 4,000 people to feel that? We can do better. We can allow people come in. The FA Cup final comes once a year. It should be the culmination of the celebration of a football season, and the Glass House can definitely do better.
Well, the National Stadium is not available for this final. We only have the Teslim Balogun Stadium here in Lagos of that capacity. But ideally, what should we have? What is the minimum capacity crowd or minimum crowd that you would need to attend an FA Cup final in a country like Nigeria, really?
If Nigeria is the most populous black country on the surface of the earth, we actually probably one of the 5 exporters, the biggest exporters of actual football, and we cannot say 4,000. We might move the game to somewhere in the country that has a big stadium that will allow people of that state to actually enjoy the cup final, and that would generate interest, and it might just bring about some other the future ones to start playing. I think 25,000, 30,000 capacity stadiums. We have the most stadiums in Africa. Nigeria have the highest number of stadiums. We can do 30,000 easily. We can do 25. I just think 4,000 might be too small.
Well, thank you so much there, Chuks Akuneto. Well, that's one man I grew up watching there when I was a lad in Bariga and then watching him play in the league.